Welcome back to the channel, guys. Let's get right into it. Alright, we're going to start this vlog out in Cartersville, Georgia. I loaded up in Kansas with these tractor implements from Land Pride once again. It's kind of a normal thing. But anyway, look at these gated parking rules. 24-hour fee is waived if you get 60 gallons or $30 spent inside. They validate your ticket. I like stuff like this. You can hate on me all you want, but this keeps the riffraff out. It keeps the people who are just the litter bugs, drop their trash, piss bottles everywhere. These lots cost money to maintain. So I'm a fan of this. If you're going there, spend money there, fuel there, purchase food on the inside. You've got to support these truck stops. Like I said, you can hate on me if you want, but I kind of like stuff like this just because it keeps the riffraff out. Anyway, I got a new phone mount. So you're seeing that here, filming the inside as I'm parking. Anyway, you're going to see maybe some new angles, just trying to figure out what you guys might like as far as watching and viewing. But did this flatbed load, so let's talk about the load here on the deck. It was windy when I filmed this, so I knew I was going to have to do a voiceover. The wind would just pick up like crazy, but securement's pretty easy like normal. Over wooden crates, you go over the strong points where the bracing is. These bush hogs, I don't know if they're bush hogs or brush hogs. One chain over the gear drive on each side, and then 2 straps over that. There's 2 separate pallets there. Went to 2 different deliveries. Some more crates with little front end bucket pieces, not buckets, but pusher deals. Crate, straps over the crates and the strong point. It actually started raining on me here in Cartersville. It was really nice weather there, though. Really like Georgia. Georgia's pretty. It's pretty and green as long as you stay out of Atlanta. So, yeah, just doing a post trip here. Parked next to old TMC. He forgot to latch his hood. That's all right. I'm sure he'll wake up and do a pre-trip and get that. But did an X-strap up front covering this another bush hog. And, pretty easy strap and go.
Yo, look, this is why automatics in certain trucks, I think, suck. I think homeboy's building air because his transmission won't shift or something, as friggin' people trying to pull out took a shit on him. That sucks.
All right, so this is that new phone mount. Got it attached to the windshield here. Pulling into my delivery. Just wait for the cars to go by and swing a left. These are normally how the tractor deliveries go. Actually, this is the first one I've ever pulled up and the gate had been closed. So that kind of sucks. Had to go in and get checked in. They opened the gate for me, cruise around. And, what's nice about flatbed, when you have multi-stops on flatbed, it goes a lot quicker than a multi-stop in a dry van because most times you don't have to wait for a gate. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever had to wait for a gate to open. But you pull in, unstrap and bump it off, and then on to the next one. It's just so easy and simple for multi-stop flatbed loads. I don't veer away from them because it's just so much quicker and better than dry van or reefer multi-stop loads.
Well, we got unloaded here in Statesboro, Georgia this morning. Thank goodness I did, because I went in and the guy was like, we don't unload on Saturdays, but he was a real cool gentleman and he got me bumped off anyway. So now we're heading up to North Carolina, where we're taking some Caterpillar equipment all the way across the country, 2,400 miles to our first delivery in Bakersfield, California. Second delivery is in Stockton, California. And third delivery is in Chehalis, Washington. So that's going to be a full week run. We pick up Monday, and today's Saturday, Monday, Cinco de Mayo. I got really lucky them unloading me on a Saturday, which is not normal. But I did tell them, I called yesterday and spoke with one of the ladies, and she was like, yeah, we'll be here Saturday, come on in. And then I spoke to him, I let him know, I was like, hey, I did talk to one of the ladies, and she said, come on in. And he's like, yeah, we got some new ladies up in the front of the office. So he's like, I'll take care of you. I can't let you sit here all weekend. I used to drive. So I was like, yes. Because I would have sucked to give that cross-country run of Caterpillar equipment away because they are stingent on pickup times. But gonna go in here and get a coffee, just wash my windshield, get some bugs off, and time to head up and do a reset, I think, in Florence,
South Carolina. This is a way cooler sticker than the yellow ones that say caution makes wide turns or whatever. Ridiculously wide turns, a boat hauler here.
And I was sitting here just scrolling through TikTok waiting to get loaded, and I was like, shoot, I better film something for YouTube. So anyway, we're picking up Caterpillar equipment, like 3 of those. So we are, yeah, literally just waiting here, sitting here waiting on a deer, sipping beer and wasting bullet. I better quit singing so I don't get copyright. All right, it is a gorgeous day. We're here in Georgia. Just fueled up at the Petro. Got our truck washed the other day. We are hauling some skid steers. So let's go over this. These are really nice. We are running all the way across country. This is a 3,500 mile run. Sorry if there's wind, but this front one is going all the way up to Chehalis, Washington. Middle one goes to Stockton, California. The rear one is getting dumped first in Bakersfield. This thing's got AC on it. It's got a radio. This is the bee's knees right here of skid steers. So this is how we did securement. We have a 3/8 chain wrapped up front, okay, looped around the holder. You bring that down and you secure it to, why am I blanking? To the binder, geez, to the ratcheting binder. Ratcheting binder goes directly to the stake pocket, okay? Now that counts as a direct tie down. You get 50% of the working load limit of the weakest link. That counts as 3,300 pounds. Now this is a 20-foot chain, so you take the slack and you use the other half exactly like this over there, and they consider that, DOT, FMCSA considers that as one chain and this is one chain, as long as you have slack in the middle, right? So it's almost like there's 2 individual, like 2-foot chains here, one right there and one right there, but we have all this 20-foot slack, you know, it's probably like 16 feet or so. Anyway, same with that binder over there. That is 50% of the working load limit. You have a 6,600 pound chain and you have a 9,200 pound ratcheting binder. So that is 3,300 and this is 3,300. So we have 6,600 up front as far as working load limit. Now, as you'll notice, none of these have attachments up front. No buckets, no forks, anything like that.
Whoa, hey, pause, sorry. I fumbled my words in that last clip, so I need to make this edit. None of these skid steers have attachments up front. No buckets, no forks. But if you had buckets or forks or anything on the front, an attachment, you need to secure that separately. So if your machine is over 10,000 pounds, you need 4 points of contact at the 4 corners, and you need to secure the attachment up front. Thanks.
But anyway, the back is different. I should probably show the back on another one of these units where I could walk around. They are all done the same, so the way I'm telling you about one is the way I did them all. So this is a good way to show you. So we did a indirect tie down because it goes up and then it weaves through that tie down point. It goes under and then it pops back out. I call that a weave. They might call that tethered. I've heard it called tethered before. And then it pops back out. Now on this side, we run the chain down and it is through the spool, wrapped around the spool. And we have another 9,200 pound ratcheting binder. So we have a 9,200 pound ratcheting binder and a 3/8 chain, which is 6,600. You guys follow, right? Okay. My securement folks, my DOT. And this is indirect, so you get 100% if it goes from the trailer through the machine and back to the trailer. So this counts as 6,600 pounds. So we have 6,600 pounds on the back and 6,600 pounds on the front. That gives us 13,200 pounds of working load limit. Oh, dang it. Good thing I'm going to shower. I got filthy. Look at my pants. I got filthy on this. And my arm. Got filthy pulling these chains out. And the binders, they're all greased up because I WD-40 them all the time. But anyway, sorry for sidetracking. So you have 3,300, 3,300, and 6,600 in the rear. That gives you 13,200. That covers 100% of every one of these. Actually, this one, so these are like 10,500. The smaller ones, these are the 265 and the 265. This one's a 275. So anyway, this one's like 13,000 and a couple hundred pounds. I think it's like 13.5, 13.7. So we pretty much have 100% covered on this one, and we definitely have 100% covered on this one. So that is our securement for this load.
Hey, what's up, guys? We are on this run from North Carolina to Bakersfield all the way up to Washington. Just stopped off for a quick break here at a New Mexico rest area, but I've had a couple questions about, hey, what is that dash cam? So I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you guys real quick my dash cam versus my blind spot cameras and explain those. So let's turn this around. And so this is my blind spot cameras. I have 2 out back and then 2 in the fenders. So see that blue truck right there? That's right there. And see the grass? That's the grass over there. Anyway, those are not recording. Those are just blind spot cameras. So I don't have to rock hood mirrors, because as we all know, the Freightliner does not have a door window. And then I have window chops, so I also don't have that mirror that hangs off the door. Now my dash camera is this guy right here. It does have, see that blind spot right there? It also has another one that should be appearing right there, but the port where the cable goes in right there broke. Let's hop out. Let's kick that idle down. That's one of them. This is the one that the port inside the camera is broke, unfortunately. And then it also records looking back right here from this camera. So I got to get a new one so both of these blind spot cameras are working. But that's my dash cam versus my blind spot cameras, which are, there's the ones for the load up top, and then there's the one for the blind spot. But anyway, yeah, we're just rocking and rolling with these Caterpillar equipment. This is the nice one. You got your joystick controls, air conditioning. Oh, air conditioning and radio. Where's the radio? Is there? I know there's a radio in here. Okay, maybe there's not a radio in here. I don't see radio controls. Just air conditioning. And then whatever the hell that screen does, I don't know. But yeah, here, I guess I could hop in. And shit, I could pick up a hitchhiker and give him a lift in this thing. So yeah, you got your controls. I wasn't allowed to drive it in here. You got some USB ports, 12 volt power, nice little phone mount or something. Rear view mirror. Maybe that is a radio, I don't know. That's definitely AC controls right there. So, freaking fancy little skid steer, I tell you what. But anyway, time to kick these chains and check these tires and get on down the road. And a windshield wiper, because we're just picking up the miles and putting them down today. So nice New Mexico day. Alright, good morning, guys. Beautiful morning here, like 7:30 in Bakersfield. Bumping off that rear one. Had to swoop in and wiggle around to hit that dock. There's a guy with a lowboy right here. So I just had to wait for him because there ain't any room up there. Bumping off freaking 3 units. And it looks bigger on camera than it is. I can't relate, but we'll see if we can't sneak out that way. I'll go bump that middle one off. Alright, guys, so we just unloaded in Bakersfield, cruising up out of Bakersfield here on the 99. Like I said, beautiful morning. Rolling by Gaff. Whole bunch of shingles over there. Oh shit, you guys see? You guys see way out there in the distance?
top roof of a mint truck and some stacks sticking up. I think that's a celebrity sighting. I think that's Bethany over there. Looks like they're holding her up for a while, getting shingles. Let's see, once we get past this hill, we'll crack our neck, see if we can't zoom in. What up, girl?
Yeah, I paused the video and screenshot it for you. Look at that mighty fine W9 looking tall over there. Out here, friend spotting in California.
All right, we got our second one delivered. Here in Stockton, right off the 4. And now we got like 800 miles up to Chehalis, Washington. Hoping to get there Saturday night. Get a good reset in, hang out at the truck stop GC's, I believe, is where I'll shoot for.
If you guys have never had the pleasure of running I-5 north out of Redding into Oregon, over Lake Shasta, past Mount Shasta, and through Weed, California, up there over the Siskiyous, it is one of the most gorgeous drives, especially at sunset. So here, tag along and let me take you on some head cam footage with some non-copyright music for that.
Jamie, pull that video up.
All right, guys, well, that brings this load to a conclusion. Last one. Oh, no, my pen. Last one getting bumped off. This was the only one with the air conditioner unit on top. It was a little heavier. But next load, we're off to Arizona, so we'll catch you then.
As always, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.